して、ムーキーには指導してもらいます。ナイス、ナイス、ナイス。いい指導。OK。いくれよ、どんなボールでも必ずこう横に入って正面行きましょう。まっすぐ。おい、難しいボールですよ。どうだ、ボール打ってどうだ、さあ来い、ハマー、ゴム、オッケー、いいよ。
Doing this offseason bad for baseball?
I mean, we're solely focused on the Dodgers and making this team as good as we possibly can. You know, our ownership group has been incredibly, supportive of continuing to pour back into our fans who have done nothing but support us and come out and see us. So, you know, we're solely focused on how do we make our team better and give back to the fans who have done nothing but come out to see us year in, year out.
Normally, when a team they win the title, they start focusing on retaining their free agents and not really adding impact pieces elsewhere. Like, what sort of led you guys towards being more aggressive in past recent champions?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously winning is great, and then that is a total reset, and you start focusing on how to make that team for that year as good as we possibly can. And we've been able to go ahead and add free agents that we think continue to add to what is already a talented group. So, you know, it's obviously incredibly happy with how last year played out, and the goal is to win every single year. And we feel like what we're charged with doing is, you know, putting a team together that puts us in the best possible position to bring another championship to LA.
How much did, like last year, all you guys added to the winter and still have trying to piece things together during the season pitching wise? Like, does that almost directly lead to, like, okay, as you're building this year's team, trying to make sure that you can add as much as you can now? Like, does that, what you guys went through last year, kind of play into how you evaluated this offseason, what you wanted to do?
I mean, every year the goal is to not go out and add, and, you know, at different times opportunities present themselves, whether it makes sense to do it or not. And, you know, I think for this year, the support from ownership has allowed us to go out and do that in a way and continue to see how the free agent market is playing out and be opportunistic on adding really talented players. So, you know, it's a little bit of like, how do we continue to add to a group, and a lot of guys that, you know, we added last year are coming back into the mix. So it just happens to, you know, be coming all together at the same time, where it's a combination of both talent and depth.
The idea of making this a destination for players, how do you see that?
I mean, a lot of it for us is obviously players want to be in a place that they know that ownership is committed to winning. And then on top of that, we take a lot of pride in our family programs, the culture, how we treat our players, doing everything first class, and having that reputation throughout the game of we're going to take care of our players and their families is important to us. And we know that if our players can focus on just the field and not have to worry about things off the field and know that they're taken care of, that's just one less thing that they need to worry about, and they can pour more energy to the field. So it's a little bit of everything, of weather, stadium, fans, winning, culture, and we're starting to see that really play out here as it's built over the last few years.
Is there a domino effect to that, where one star signs one guys has a good reputation, sort of speaks to your guys' reputation, and sort of make it easier to keep adding from there?
Yeah, I guess that's probably a better question for the players that are signing, but it seems like that is the case where, coming off of a very successful year of winning the World Series and continuing to add talent, guys are like, I want to be a part of that. So it's a helpful component for sure.
Do you feel like when you're talking to free agents that reputation is out there when you're describing some of the stuff that guys are like, oh yeah, this is what you guys have become known for with all the player support and all that sort of stuff? Or is it still a lot of pitching that to guys in ways they maybe?
It's obviously something that we discuss, and us saying it is not worth a whole lot. We're obviously incredibly biased, but when our players are saying it, because all of these guys this is a tightly knit group. Big leaguers, you're always one person away from knowing everybody. So, it's much more of a word of mouth thing. We certainly bring it up as we feel is a strength of the organization, but it's way more impactful if other guys are talking about it and not just us.
You guys normally give out 4-year deals for relievers. What makes Tanner kind of the guy that can kind of break that mold?
Yeah, it's just the way he takes care of himself, how he moves, his ability to post in the past, and kind of where his trajectory has been over the last few years. That combination of things made us feel comfortable in being able to do something like this.
Also good at maybe adding another veteran reliever that you guys have been to.
We're always looking to be opportunistic and add guys.
It seems like you've targeted pitchers who have high strikeout rates and hard contact, but are maybe more prone to walk. Is that kind of an organizational philosophy, or is it just how things play out?
It's more how things have played out. I think obviously big stuff and being hard to hit and striking guys out are good things to add into a group. But I think it's more just how things have played out rather than just completely targeting one type of profile.
You mentioned the hitting group being excited.
Very.
Was Shohei one more vocal one?
Yes, we've talked about. No, he wasn't vocal, but they're like, okay, they'll be happy to not face him, I'm sure.
I know you're not evaluating guys based on how they perform against just you guys. Is that hard to impact the process here? You can get somebody theoretically if he ends up somewhere else that they'd be investing against you guys.
It's not a major component. It's much more like how does he fit into the bullpen overall, and how he makes sense within the group. And somebody as talented as he is, who does not have platoon splits, but is also death on lefties. It just gives Doc another option to go out and piece those things together and really shorten the game.
How close did you guys feel like at the headline you were getting to?
Pretty close. Pretty close. And then as we had an initial conversation, then it wasn't as close, and he went to San Diego. So, but yeah, we thought we were close at the deadline.
You said that he said that you guys were first call. How sort of did the negotiation kind of play out over the last few months?
Yeah, it was a lot of conversations. Making sure he had access to our pitching group and performance group, and trying to give him some look into behind the curtain on how we do things. And obviously, probably the most highly sought after reliever on the market. So take his time and understand the full scope of it all. So we stayed in contact and made sure that he knew he was a priority for us. And like I said, we feel really good about the talent of our group and being able to add somebody who makes that group that much better is a unique opportunity. I mean, Doc has been on us, like, as he should be. He's like, hey, but the thing with Doc is, like, hey, obviously, we know he's nasty, but he's like, everything I'm hearing is that this dude is, like, an awesome human being. He's like a huge competitor. So, I mean, a lot of those conversations make him to, you know, feeling good about this, and you just talk to him, he's just like a good person. And then the stuff is like,
How much are like how much does that come
for sure, I think that speaks volumes about how guys, that's like a passion for the game and winning, which, you know, there's different paths to go down, and I understand them all, but when somebody is doing that, I think like that there's a ton of respect from coaches and teammates when they go out and do that. So
every spring you get the question like who's the closer. You guys have built this bullpen where it's not designated closer at this point. Do you think that like you guys have not moved to that point where it's just like anybody can?
yeah, I think that's, like I said, it's part of the culture that Doc and Bordeaux have built, and you know, whether it trends one way or the other, I think the group as a whole just knows like, hey, I'm going to go out and do my job. When the phone call, when the phone rings, I'm going to go out and handle my business because they're putting me in the best position to succeed. And this is about championships and not just, you know, individual stats. So I think it speaks to the culture of that group being quite special.
If you had an extremely weighted, though, to lead the team.
Is it me and you betting? How much?
That's not very.
You have inside info.
That's a friendly wager. I don't know. I mean, I think, like I said, I think Tanner's going to get plenty of opportunities to save games, but there could be, you know, just happenstance of how lineups come up and, you know, who's available and all of that where it'll pivot. But I do think he's going to be pitching at the back end of a lot of games.